I ain't here but to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. You want to know what's real? Alright, this is what's real.
When it came to treating her citizens of Indian descent fairly, she failed. She put them on reservations. When it came to treating her citizens of Japanese descent fairly, she failed. She put them in internment prison camps. When it came to treating the citizens of African descent fairly, America failed. She put them in chains. The government put them on slave quarters, put them on auction blocks, put them in cotton fields, put them in inferior schools, put them in substandard housing, put them in scientific experiments, put them in the lowest paying jobs, put them outside the equal protection of the law, kept them out of their racist bastions of higher education, and locked them into positions of hopelessness and helplessness. The government gives them the drugs, builds bigger prisons, passes a three-strike law, and then wants us to sing God Bless America. No, not God Bless America. God damn America, that's in the Bible, for killing innocent people. God damn America, for treating our citizens as less than human. God damn America, as long as she tries to act like she is God and she is supreme. The United States government has failed the vast majority of her citizens of African descent.
I get sick and tired of crying and fighting for my survival, renewing the whole system designed for my arrival to chain me up in prison. But listen, it's like a choir, we all singing for help, and these politicians is liars. They Jeremiah for trying to beat my very logic. We keep begging for help. The enemy stays in power. We must take what is ours on down the tax dollars, freeze the whole system for people back in power and smash the shine entities in media insanity. Race riots are boiling with foxes, animality. Poor people are human regardless of nationality. We're tired of being ignored. If we're poor, we're not humanity. Conserve the evil and liberalize the people. Be pubs and DMs acting like Bloods and Crips beefing. Souls die from war with slaves without conspiracies involved, but people still sleeping. Now breathe like you do for one time, and let me turn your water into wine. Allow me to wander in your mind and program the truth from the lies. Now freeze like you do for one time, and let me turn your water into wine. Allow me to wander in your mind and program the truth from the lies. Wake up, you're still sleeping, the non-believer. Quick to believe in Jesus, but not the devil's evils. Area 51 denied in past evenings. Now the truth spine, the care is not a reason. Jesus will fall from the clouds and save you by religion. I forgot to mention, or it's the Son God told all over to overdose the masses in the need of spiritual overcoats. Amen. In fact, who's amen? Recognition of another God while praying. Islam is no better, it's the move of splendid. The way to find God is through you transcended. At least the Jesus you can sin just as long as the sin's repented. Where to sign up, find the weak relentless. Church pimps prevail through the tithes and givings. If we were made in God's image, why we gotta go to popes like we ain't that image? I'm feeling God down once I spit this sentence, and it don't take a crowd reading Bible scriptures. Now breathe like you do for one time, and let me turn your water into wine. Allow me to wander in your mind and program the truth from the lies. We are enslaved in 4 ways. Now pay attention. That's money, guns, religion, and watching television. If the people thinking aware of the globalism, skulls and bones is broken, illuminating the prison. Unplug the programs and fry the computer chips and fight the revolution from Bilderberg's grips. Rockefellers are devils and Queen Elizabeth is really the true boss, but it seems she don't exist. Now freeze like you do for one time, and let me turn your water into wine. Allow me to wander in your mind and program the truth from the lies. Now freeze like you do for one time, and let me turn your water into wine. Allow me to wander in your mind and program the truth from the lies. Wake up,
wake up. You
gotta wake up. I know you scared to wake up, but you have to wake up. These ain't conspiracies, homeboy. Like, this is real. Look around. Can't you see it? They already talking about population control. You know what I mean? So who do you think they're going to exterminate first? Huh? Think it's going to be the rich folk? Nah, man. It's going to be the poor folk. You know what I mean? The ones that's like you and I. And I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, or wherever it is. If you're broke, you share the same look that's on my face every day. And that's a face of anguish, tired. Got to get up for work. You know what I mean? Breaking our necks. The cost of living is squeezing us. You know what I mean? And these bills are squeezing us, man. We're slaves. And we'll always be slaves unless we wake up. As you all know, a motherfucker been going through a lot of shit lately and shit. A nigga Facebook been looking like a fucking reality show and shit. You know what I mean? People switching and flip-flopping and shit. You know what I mean? Baby mama drama and shit. You know what I mean? Faggot ass niggas. You know what I mean? Hard to get a record deal around this motherfucker because that nigga just too real for this industry. But you know what? Fuck y'all. I ain't the fucking one. I'm on it with my feelings hurt. Hey, it's just another day. Trying to stay alive and keep the bills paid. Hey, bitches quick to pull a turn on me. Usher these hoes and let it burn on me. I think you gotta keep it thugging in the hard time. Smoke a lot of weed till a nigga high. Drink a little liquor, try not to cry. Cause when these bitches leave, they'll leave you dry. Until they bail runs dry. Call the niggas pretend and then apologize. You made your bed, bitch, swinging that shit. I'm a real ass nigga, I ain't the fucking bitch, you left, stay where your stinking ass at. I ain't the fucking one. What you know? I ain't the motherfucking one. I ain't the fucking one. Yeah. I ain't the fucking one. 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 See a lot of shit change when you fall down. Leave a voice telling hope they come around. It's all good. Nigga, that's just for that. A nigga just need a square cause I'm stressed out. Picture a nigga pissed off. Hey, rolling up the buttons in the ashtray. Fuck. Yeah, the shit hurt, but it's real, nigga. Swallow your feelings and then you heal, nigga. It's Machiavelli playing pop, trying to die. Get your money up, thug nigga, till it die. Nigga, watch the bitches slowly come. Oh, your own boy now. I ain't the fucking one. Hey, your shit up there. I ain't the fucking one. Tell them whole ass nigga, man. Fuck y'all niggas, man. I ain't the fucking one. I ain't the fucking one. Fuck you too, nigga. I ain't the fucking one. Real niggas say they ain't the fucking one. These hoe ass niggas got the game fucked up, but I ain't the fucking one. Catch a nigga floating in this motherfucker. Niggas used to be G's, but now they all bust. They all flipping the women and you can't wake them up. And if it turns to a style, they have the dicks tough, nigga. It ain't me, nigga. It ain't shit to aim for if it ain't G, nigga. Give me a pair of black dickies and some fresh black J's. I know you're not sweating in them skinny ass J's. Real bitches ain't fucking with you, gay nigga. What's up, Jay? Not a bitch, nigga. And I would never sell my soul for a record deal. If it ain't cheap, nigga, I ain't the fucking one. Hell no. I ain't the fucking one. Really fucking is it? I ain't the fucking one. Where my motherfucking niggas at? I ain't the fucking one. Yeah, I ain't the fucking one.
Another day, man, another day.
I ain't the fucking one. All my real G ass niggas say when I ain't the fucking one. Man, shit. I make music.
What's happening? What's happening? Oh man, what's good with everybody, man? We got four viewers so far. We were at five, but it took me a minute to get everything situated. But we good. Mic check, mic check. I'm loud for you. Yeah. All right, cool. Uh go. You hear it popping or something? It's on your end. All right. So real quick rundown. Hey, I like that. I like that. And your mic is hot. Capital punishment, man. Capital punishment versus corporal punishment. Why are so many parents, excuse me, afraid to discipline? That's a good damn question. Why are so many parents afraid to discipline or chastise their children? Warning, this topic is not for the hypersensitive and or the easily butthurt types. If you can't handle real feedback, I advise you to tune into another showing. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. It's going to get real ooey-ish. That part. Yeah, I think Ant's mic is hot. If y'all can hear it, throw a thumbs up in the chat. If it's gone, don't worry about it. So, I guess real quick, what is the difference between what is corporal punishment versus capital punishment? I guess is the best way to start this question off. Y'all can Google search it. I don't care. Give me an answer though. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I'm not afraid of punishment, kids. All right, so one is talking, or like timeout. The other is physical punishment. All right, so what's the difference? Which one is which? Oh shit. And your mic is hot. Capital is physical. Okay, and that's your answer, and you sticking with it, Jamie? Capital is physical. Oh, So there we go. That's better. I don't know what you did over there, but that's a hell of a lot better. Um, so fuck. So yeah. So capital punishment is basically um as Diana said, the death penalty, correct. Um corporal punishment is physical. Uh got a little hum in there. Um yeah, corporal punishment is weapons, 100%. So if people can distinguish the difference between the two, which obviously there's a lot of people who can't, as you can see, it was easily misconstrued. It's not a shot at you, Jamie, but there's a lot of people who don't know the difference. Um, so, with that being said, because they don't know the difference, all right, is this a contributing factor as to why people don't chastise their kids? Why today? Why today in this generation in the world today are parents more prone not to chastise or discipline their children as versus yesteryear? Is it because of no, I'm not even gonna give any examples. I want to know. I want you to tell me. I want y'all to tell me as to why. What's your take on it? Who in the hell is going to kill their kids for doing something wrong? Well, obviously nobody. Well, then you know what? I can't even say that because people nowadays, nowadays, man, shit, you got people putting their kids in the back seat of the car and strapping them in car seats and driving them off in the middle of the lake. So shit, I can't tell you. You can't say who the hell gonna do that. Some don't due to fear of children's services or law. Okay, fair enough. Due to fear of children's services or law. So therefore, because they don't know essentially what it boils down to, and that's what I was getting at. People don't know their rights, uh, in part because they don't know the law. Uh, there is no law that says that you cannot chastise your children. Those who know better know that children's services uh, uh, people who know the laws know that children's services is not actually an authorized agency and they have no rights whatsoever. Um, However, people submit to them out of fear. Children's services has no jurisdiction or authority whatsoever. They are not a state or federal agency. It's a private entity, and a lot of people are unaware of this. They just see children's services and get spooked. Depressed parents, evil parents. I mean, shit, it's all type of quote unquote parents if you want to go that way with it. There's part time parents and all type of shit. Uh, yes, 100% you can refuse children's services inquiries. Some don't do it because this generation is all about caring. I really don't think they actually care per se. I think they live in fear of the authority figures, quote unquote, and out of ignorance. Um, a lot of the generation, a lot of the switch started. Um, you should be old enough to remember. Um, Late '80s, early '90s. I want to say like early '90s, mid '90s. Honestly, um, they came out with this. Well, as they often do, they start the campaign in the schools. When you send your kids to school, uh, they talk to your kids and tell them things that we are totally unaware. Uh, Majority of us are unaware of. Uh, a lot of things that's transpiring in the classrooms or in the school building. Period. And they had came out with this campaign where they said that if your parents are whooping you or abusing you is what the word is the term that they used. If your child is if your parent is whooping you or abusing you, here's this hotline, call this number. And that's when a lot of that bullshit started. Uh it wasn't the birth of children's services, CSB, as we know it, but this is when they started tossing their weight around. Um well, I can't even say tossing their weight around because they don't have any weight. But this is when they started implementing and trying to force their way into positions, into the position that they're in now. Uh, it's a lack of accountability. Cool. It's the lack of accountability in parenting and passing the blame to others. I could agree with that. There's a lot of that shit too. Uh, Not sure if that's the right wording because if you really care, you will discipline your kids so that the police and judges won't have to do it later. 100%. Those who actually know this, the setup of what's transpiring, especially for minorities. Not to say that they're the only ones that suffer from it, but we are definitely higher in the statistic category. Um, the crazy thing about it is there is a lot more. Lot more in the generic term. There are a lot more biracial kids. In the literal aspect or in reality, there are a lot more black kids now than ever before. Um, and with that being said, just because you're high yellow, uh, they kid glove you. All right. Speaking from experience, I'm dealing with that with one of my kids now. They kid glove you. They're fully aware. First off, they don't want to sit there and hold you in juvie anymore because essentially all they got to do is they hold you in there till you turn 18, depending on what the nature of the crime is, and then they spit you back out with a clean slate. So it does them no good. However, if they can slam you with something that they can try you as an adult for, or throw the book at you, or even have justifiable means to shoot you, then that's one less minority that they have to deal with. The game that's being played is we will smack you on the wrist until you get to the point where now you are of legal age and now we can deal with you. Now we can lock you away for umpteenth years. Speaking from personal experience, in today's society, there's not a crime that's committed where the time actually meets matches the sentence at all. So the capital versus the corporal. Why are parents not chastising? I think basically essentially what it boils down to, me personally, like I said, I see a lot of ignorance. A lot of ignorance, a lot of excuses. Uh, but in the long run, who's suffering? Who's suffering? You're gonna end up losing your kids, whether to a jail system. I mean, to a an alleged legal system, or to somebody out in the streets, because you don't want to do your job as a parent. When a person tells you, or I ain't gonna say tell you, but when a person suggests something to you about your parenting style, because we all got different parenting styles, or some of us have no parenting style. When a person suggests something to you, a lot of people get offended or get defensive and go left field with shit. Like, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but me personally, if I'm opening my mouth, especially when it's something that doesn't pertain to me, it's generally because I care. So if I can see it, or the next person can see it, or the next person, or maybe even one of your friends or your a parent or grandparent, whatever have you. I can't say a friend because a lot of people that hang out that have kids generally hang out around people that have similar parenting styles, or lack thereof. Uh, I know I don't go straight to beating my kids, but beating my kids because I was beat and abused as a child. I mean, shit. First off, there's an issue right there. Anybody that is a disciplinarian will tell you off rip they don't beat their kids anyway. That's only in white people's terminology. Usually, you'll hear that term come out of a white person's mouth. Most black people don't beat their kids. When you ask them, "Hey, do your parents beat?" No, my parents whooped me. So it's there's a difference between uh, beating on someone and chastising or whooping. So, eh, I can't say that there's some things that the parents back in the day didn't do that were a little extreme. I'm not saying that they were perfect, but in the same aspect, you got the point. Uh, Nowadays, looking at a kid sideways is considered abuse. Talking to your kid is considered abuse. So when you toss that out there, it's kind of like, now I don't know I don't know your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? That part, I'm not saying that you weren't abused. Like I said, I don't know your childhood, but I do know there's an age gap between the two of us. Uh, Having biracial kids is even more of a reason not to kid glove them. Correct. Society would never. Uh, they need to be ready for the real world. Real world, 100%. So a lot of these biracial kids now. I'm gonna speak for Ohio because we're in Ohio. I'm in Ohio. Um, Ohio being a mom state, so a lot of these kids are being raised by their mothers. Biracial kids tend to, when they're with their mothers, a lot of them tend to get, a lot of them get raised like they're white. Okay. Um, So whether the father's there or not, whether the father's there or the dad is there or not, I'm not gonna say the dad because the dad normally would be there. Whether the father's there or not, um, in a lot of cases, the mothers have total control of the situation. Not to say that all of them are like that, but a lot of them tend to raise these kids as if they're white, or treat them as if they're white. So fast forward 14, 15 years old, now you come out here into the real world. Real world gonna show you just how much of a nigger you actually are. And yeah, I said it just the way it sounded, 100%. Not nigga. The real world is gonna show them just how much of a nigger they are. Mama's gonna always love you. If you have a dad, dad is always gonna love you. That's what parents do, right? However, this real world doesn't care about you, and they're going to devour you. They get out here into this real society outside of their side of the family. White folks can't stand you because they know that you're not white. Black folks don't fully accept you because they know damn well that you're not completely black. So now you're hanging a balance. You're hanging a balance. So when these kids are not taught the harsh realities of life, now we got an issue years later down the road. Uh-oh, where are we at? Beat or spank whooping. I'm not sure what you're in reference to. I know I got to it late. I don't see my kids as biracial. They're black. I raised them as such. Well, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Once they get into the real world, they will definitely be reminded. The world won't ever see them as half of anything. They are black to the rest of the world. It's an undeniable truth. Undeniable truth. Like I said earlier, in fact, just a few moments ago, when they get out here into this real world, from up under your roof, start hanging out more out of the house, you're gonna have to deal with, mom, somebody called me a nigger, or somebody said something racist, and it's gonna come from both sides. It's gonna come from both sides. It doesn't matter if your child is white as this mug, as black as the ace of spades. They're gonna catch hell from both sides. That is, and that's the only thing you can do. For you can try to prepare them. You know what I'm saying? You try to prepare them for what's to come, but you can't keep them safe from everything. That's as real as it gets. That's as real as it gets. Ain't you good over there, man? You still got the feedback issue? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I just I try to explain it to the kids, and tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like, reality is, regardless of what you've been told by your mom, uh, your aunties, or whatever, that side of the family, regardless of how much you try to straighten your hair or use certain type of products, talk or carry yourself however you see fit. And there's no right or wrong. There is no black or white way to carry yourself per se. Um, it's an educated and an uneducated way. But in the same aspect, like if your hair if your hair looks like if you got a 1970s afro up there, please don't be trying to use some Vival Sassoon or something in your head like that. Like, let's just be real about the situation. There's certain things. Our chemistries are different. You know what I'm saying? Our chemistries are different. Our makeup is different. Yeah, we're all human, but it's a lot of biological differences in there. It's a beautiful wall you got there, sir. Nah, I'm just being silly. Man, I gotta having one of them crazy days today. Irritated, minor setback, but hey, there you go.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I had a question about something.
All right, let's hear it.
How can you raise somebody to be black or white? That's
Exactly.
come on. I mean, just explain that to me.
So, like I said, it's not so much it's not so much of a here, let's put it this way. There's certain things. All right, so I'm gonna use my personal. There's certain things that uh 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 when you're influenced by a certain when you're influenced and being denied certain things, uh it comes out that way. Um
So that makes you black.
not in the sense that you're speaking of. There's things that when you okay, so let me put it like this, right? You got any biracial kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you raising your children, right?
Mhm.
You teach them about both sides of the culture, right?
Yeah. Trying to.
You try to. When
Try
you
to.
intentionally deprive, when you intentionally deprive one side of the other, what are you doing? When you're teaching to hate one side of the other, one side of yourself, what are you doing?
You just teaching hate.
You we lost you.
You lost me.
It's very low. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can bring it up. Say say it again.
Okay. What about now?
It's real low.
Fucking site sucks.
You was fine. I don't know what you touched.
This goddamn site is a piece of shit. That's what it is.
That part too.
Does that work better?
Hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was
No,
it?
what I was saying is,
Go ahead.
how can you say you're raising somebody to be black? That doesn't make sense.
Okay. So
you can't raise anybody to be a certain race. It just you either
I
raising them or you're not.
okay. Now I feel where I understand where you're coming from. Like I said, because I agree with you 100%. I know exactly what you're saying. So I'm trying to figure out how to word it so everybody else can understand where I'm coming from. Because again, I don't believe, but there's only one race anyway. So I don't even believe in racism. But if you're depriving, all right. So if you're for again for the terminology that so everybody can understand it. If you're biracial, right? But you've been taught to embrace one side of who you are and denounce the other side of who you are.
Yeah.
What are you what are you being taught, or how are you
You
being
be
raised?
you're being taught to be a racist. But how can you tell somebody or teach a child to be black or white? That's the question I'm asking. I want somebody to answer.
Hold on one second. I'm over here struggling with something. I'm still here. I'm listening. Cordy, do me a favor. Message me on Messenger because I can't for some odd reason I can't pull you up. Let me do it this way. All right, hold on one second. No, I'm not. I'm not. Wait, what? I'm not confusing the kids on how the kids will be seen by the world. Uh, I seen something. I think somebody was trying to answer that. What she's saying is that she has to prepare them because society will see them as black. Okay.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, how you gonna raise them? You just raising a child. Yeah, you can tell them what reality is, but
Mhm.
bottom line, you're raising a child. I didn't
Right.
raise kids. I didn't raise kids and say, "Hey, I want y'all to be white." They kids.
I mean, I agree with you
I
100%.
mean,
But again,
they're adults, but they're kids. I can't just when they were kids. I didn't say, "Hey, I'm gonna raise you to be white," or "I'm gonna raise you to be
right.
black." You
I
a
mean,
kid.
no, I understand that. I mean, it's just like how people say, okay, well, you talk white. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
that
I
doesn't make
understand
sense.
it's either
No,
educated or non-educated. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's just
But
proper English. That don't
uh,
mean you talk white. That don't
right,
make it correct.
right.
No,
I
you
agree
just
with you
speaking
100%.
proper English.
I agree with you 100%. What I'm saying is so it's understood because the thing about this is one second. Let's see. Depriving the kids is one thing. The culture. What? Uh, when you when you when you trying to explain it, it's kind of hard to put it into words. But I get what you're saying. Depriving the kids from one culture versus the other is just bad parenting. It's not even
Yeah,
parenting at all. But because essentially, like, it doesn't. Here's why I say it's not parenting because it can come from anybody. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to come from the parent. It can come from a relative. You get what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah,
So I'm not gonna call it bad parenting. It come from anywhere. Uh, I cannot teach them to be black. True, but I can teach them that they will always be seen as black by society. That's the thing. Is it's not that you're teaching them to be black or white or whatever have you. It's you're teaching them to identify what society is going to point out to you. You see what I'm saying? I don't I don't know if I'm wording that right, but like let me see.
it makes sense. It's just that I don't feel like you should pick a side. You know, that's kind of the way things are going. It's like you just a person.
100%.
Okay, that's it. Why does it make a difference how you were raised or how you speak? Bottom line, you're still a person.
Agreed. 100%. I agree with you 100%. Here's the thing. In reality, or no, not reality, in the world that we live in, you will always be reminded of who or what you allegedly are, or as is depicted. You know what I'm saying? So when they say, okay, let's break off into two separate lines. All the black kids over here, all the white kids over here, and then your kid is standing there like, okay, where the fuck do I go? What line is human? You see what I'm saying? I get what you're saying 100%. You know what I'm saying? Well, why are you still standing there, Terrell? Well, I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I don't identify as black or white. You get what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I know what you're saying, but how do you
You just have to teach them to change the narrative. I mean, instead of
I'm
saying
100% with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm 100%
instead of just saying, "Oh, well, that's the way it is. I got to go with it." No, you don't.
Right.
You got the opportunity to stand there and say, "Look here, I'm not going for that. This is what I am." You know, now they got kids believing that you can just instantly become another sex. You know, so same thing. If you standing there and they say men on this side, women on this side, what you gonna do?
That's a good question. I mean, I know
it's the same damn thing.
It is, but see, here's the thing: when you say that, right? When you say that, then they don't. Then it's not acceptable in the eyes of the law. You get what I'm saying? So I could be in the courtroom and say, they say, well, Mr. Wright, and I say, well, I identify as a woman. It's Mrs. Wright. Okay, well, Mrs. Wright. But as soon as I do some dirt or some shit, and they say, okay, well, black man, no, I identify as white. No, you can't do that. You get what I'm saying? You can't do that.
Exactly. So that's
you know
what I'm saying.
Like,
if you get caught in crime, you can say, hey, no, I'm a white woman.
Right.
Y'all got it all wrong.
Shit.
Who should argue with you? If that's what you feel that you are, then
I mean, apparently it's legal. It's legal within certain parameters. I'll tell you what. Next time I catch a case, I'm gonna identify. How do you plead? I identify as a free man. Shit, I shouldn't do no jail time.
Exactly. So
shit,
I don't fall into the norms of what society thinks and how they want to label me.
I don't either. I agree with you 100%.
So
I know where you at.
It's like, you know, I don't believe that shit. You can look at me and say, well, call me whatever you want to call me. I know what I am. So that's what makes the difference.
There it is. Hold on. I got you. All right, Cardi, there you go. She says she's trying to join, but she needed the link. All right, so let me see. I think we got a guest coming in. I am not gonna wait for her. She'll pop in eventually. Let's see. You are preparing. I'm sorry. Cordy says you are preparing them for what society sees them as. Society is black and white. That's the way it is. Yeah, it's true. That is how it is. But I mean, again, like Ann said, he does make a valid point. You don't necessarily have to subscribe to it.
Exactly.
Rewriting the narrative.
So if you're subscribing to it, to me, you're part of the problem.
Part of the solution or part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because realistically, that's pretty much with everything that's wrong with the world. You know what I'm saying? You have a choice to either go along with it or rebel against it, and or speak out against it. And people are so conformant with content with being conformant. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like, well, I know I shouldn't do that, or I know it's not going to benefit us as a people, but everybody's doing it, so I'm just going to go with the flow. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel you. I sent you the link, Cordy. Diana says, not necessarily picking a side, but in reality, they will be judged by the color of their skin. Mine will never be seen as white.
Okay. I mean, I get that, but I'm just saying, as long as they know who they are, as long as your kid is confident within themselves,
Right.
knowing who they are, they shouldn't worry about what some other motherfucker think about them or how they want to judge it.
100%.
They shouldn't even walk around with that mind state. They should be like, hey, that's your issue if you want to see me this way.
Right. Hold on 1 second, Ant. We got a caller. Gordy, you're on the air. Gordy.
Okay, how are you? How you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing great.
How you doing? I see the discussion. I was giving my comment.
I seen him. I was trying to read.
Good. Nice to meet you. I don't know the other gentleman's name.
Antoine.
Yeah, I don't know the other gentleman's name. But how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Antoine, how you doing? I'm
right.
good, thank you. Now, I've been knowing Sincere a long time, and you saw my, what you're saying, but of how to, yes, you can tell your children that, but you have to prepare them for what society is going to see them as. Okay, if your child is if they can pass, as we say back in the day when people could pass, if your child is light enough to pass, then they're going to be considered white by society's eyes. And if your child is of a darker skin color, they are going to be black. So I can understand the young lady in the comments saying that she teaches her children, because you do. I have grandchildren that, yes, they could pass for white, but they're black, and they're both.
Right.
But they know the difference because they know their skin color does not look black.
Right.
So I can understand the young lady saying that. Now, yes, she does have to teach her child that. If she had a biracial son that looked white, she wouldn't have to tell him what to do with the police. But if she has a biracial son that looked black, she's got to tell him. She has to.
I was gonna say, I get where you come from. I not to cut you off. So that opens up the doors for the question or discussion of the white privilege.
Right.
Okay, so all right, I see where all right, so yeah, that's oh boy.
So I mean, I get that. I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is this: you can prepare it in that way, like you said with the police. Yeah, I know for a fact. The police get behind me, I tense up automatically, knowing I ain't did a damn. But I know if I pull something out their ass. You did this. Wait a minute, but I don't feel that's teaching them to be black or white. It's teaching them to be prepared. I prepared my kids for everything that the world is going to do to them. I'm totally prepared. But at no point did I say, hey, you got to act like a white person in this situation, or you got to act like a black person.
No.
See, that's
not what we're saying.
I think everybody
that's not what
kind
we're
of
saying.
took that the wrong way, the way I said it. But I'm just saying it shouldn't make a difference. First of all, yes, you're a human being. You supposedly have rights, even though that goes out the window every single time. So, it's a lot of shit in this society that you can look at and go, it doesn't make sense and it's not right. I've never told my kids that, hey, you look light enough to pass for a white person.
No one. You wouldn't have to, but society will do that for you. Okay,
exactly.
You don't have to tell them. Society will do that for you. But if you have a young man that looks black, you better prepare them for what they might run into when they get out there, because he is a black man in society's eyes. Okay, so you should teach the children.
exactly done that because my son, he is actually Hispanic. Okay, majority of his friends are white guys. And I even told him this. I said, look here, you can hang around them all you want to. You can be their best friend, but realize who you are as a person. All right?
Right.
I said, when you walk into their house, their parents are going to look at you like, who the hell is this? You know,
Right.
that can't happen. You had to prepare yourself for that. So what I teach them, him and my daughter, is to never be comfortable, but always be prepared.
Right.
So I just need people to understand what I'm saying instead of jumping to the automatic defense because I don't sugarcoat anything. But what I'm saying is just be prepared. Don't look at it as, oh, I'm black, this is going to happen. Or if I act like a white person, this is going to happen. Just be prepared for every scenario.
See, because go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, no, what I was going to say is in order for them to be prepared, you would have to explain if your child was of a darker skin color, you would have to prepare them to be stopped by the police, to be, we know as black people, we step outside every day. We can go to a store. And racism, we get it every day. Black people get that every day. So yes, you do have to tell your child, especially if you are a white woman, you do have to tell your biracial, darker skinned son, look, babe, when you go out here, don't wear a hoodie. You might get profiled. I would hope that a white mother would be telling her black son that and not letting him think that, oh, well, I'm okay. My mom is white. No, that's not how society sees it.
That makes sense to do that, but I don't. My bottom line is I don't see that raising them to be black. You're just warning them downfalls.
No, you want to prepare them. I don't know what it means to. I don't know what it means to raise someone as black or white. You're going to raise your child. Yeah, you're not going to. I'm quite sure she's not saying that, well, because you're black, you got to act like this. No, we're just preparing them, saying that this is the way that society is looking at you. So there is a certain way that there's a certain consciousness that you have to have because you are a darker skin color. It's preparing, but it's like, it's not teaching them to be black or white. You're preparing them for how society is going to treat them.
Right.
Exactly. And that's exactly what in that is. It's not, as I said, and I'm going to say this because you and I don't know each other, but when I speak in general terms. I'm not saying you're wrong or this person is wrong. I'm just holding a general conversation. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not looking for anybody to totally agree with me. It is what it is.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
That's all it is. And it's not like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do. No, these are your kids, not mine.
Right.
So I'm just saying, prepare your kids as well as I've done with my kids to tell them, hey, this is the reality you have to deal with. I don't care if you're a white woman with darker skinned kids or not. That's just a reality to prepare them for. But at no point, once again, have I sat here and pointed out anybody and said, "Oh, you're wrong the way you're raising your child." No, I'm just saying, hey, get them set up for what they're about to encounter. Because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. That's not making an excuse. That's an actual reality. It's not easy for anybody that's a minority. I don't care if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're maybe Asian, you might get away with some shit. But bottom line is, you're gonna have an issue with the world. It's just the way things are.
Right. And it is preparing them for what society, it's not like it used to be. You know how
No.
back in the day, especially because I'm older, okay?
Okay.
So I remember that back in the day when my parents told me something, there was not a lot of outside influence.
Right.
Okay.
Mhm.
In society now, there is so much outside influence. That's
Everybody.
why
Mhm.
you have to, yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to sort of, especially with, and I don't have biracial children, but I have biracial grandchildren.
Correct.
Mhm.
So, I get the looks at me when I take my grandchildren out because they pass as white.
Right.
And so when
Who
they
you didn't
say
kidnap?
grandma,
And
Right.
you know
then
what I mean? You know what I mean?
let me
And
let me
you get that double take,
Yeah, you get that. You get that look
Yeah,
like who kid you didn't
let me
kidnap? Yep. Who you
let me address
babysitting?
yeah, like, yeah,
let me address this right.
yeah, yeah.
I
That's
get that, but
exactly what I get when I take my
Right.
grandchildren somewhere.
right, but let me
But
address something right quick.
yeah,
And this is for
hmm
Jamie. I haven't accused you of anything. Please, for the sake of this
oh
podcast,
no,
stop getting on the defensive. Please,
You talk.
because
You
I
talk.
haven't accused you of anything. I don't know you. I don't know how you raise your kid. So I never said you said anything. That's what's getting me right now. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you're on the defensive for something that I didn't even say. Where is these thoughts coming from? I'm
Because
giving general statements.
well, a
maybe I
lot.
can't see
Right.
something. I
No,
can't
No,
not
no,
see
no.
not
what's.
to, not to you,
So,
not to you.
so
I'm telling you,
right,
this is directed to Jamie because she's saying,
right. So
she
a
never
lot of
raised him
times,
to act a particular way. I didn't say you did. I'm
right.
making a general statement. Listen to the statement first,
Mm-hmm. A lot
then
of times,
decipher it. Don't get back on the defensive and go, oh, he's talking about me personally. I
right,
didn't.
right, right,
I did not. I just
right.
made a
No,
general statement.
I don't think that's what she was saying. I think it was more of
It's right there in the
when you had
text.
made the
Read it.
statement of how do
Looking at the
you,
chat. I mean, maybe
yeah.
my
I
my
said, well,
comprehension is not that great, but
yeah,
look
because
in
I
the
don't think
chat.
that's what
It's
she was
right
saying.
there.
Right. Well,
It's right
when you
there.
had said, that it didn't make any sense to you to teach someone how to be black or white, and I don't think that's not what she was saying. She was saying that she was preparing her children. She wasn't saying in so many ways that she was teaching them, because how do you teach? You're right when you say, how do you teach someone to be black or how do you teach someone to be white?
Right.
It's not, you can't teach anyone that.
No, you
Society
can't.
is going to let them know what they're accepted as. And
Right.
Exactly.
it's a shame, but that's the way society is.
And I am old enough to understand that. And that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying I pass that down to my kids. Hopefully they'll pass that down to their kids.
Yeah.
But at no point did I say, hey, in order to be a black person in America, this is how you have to act. No, I'm just saying, prepare yourself. Watch your ass when you leave the house
Right.
because this
Well,
is what can happen to you.
that's what
Watch
she has to
yourself.
prepare. That's what she has to
But
prepare a darker skinned biracial child to know that
right,
when
but
you leave this
at no
house,
point,
you may get
right.
prejudiced. We all as black people can go into a store
Hmm.
and we know what we get, or you got that white person that stubs you or whatever.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what she may have to prepare that darker skinned child for, because every day when we walk out of the door,
It's a
racism
problem.
hits us in
Yes,
one
it's
way
a
or another.
problem.
Right, it is, it's a big problem. And I think that's what I know as a grandmother of biracial grandchildren, that
Hmm.
I've had to prepare, honestly, my melanin colored children that are biracial. I've had to, give them that talk, especially the teenagers and their men. I had to give
Hmm.
them that talk that, okay, don't move too quick if the police ask you to, pull over, pull over, put your hands, make sure they see your hands. It is a conversation that I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I know for a fact you get more bullshit from black people because of the way your grandchildren look.
Yep.
You know what?
I know that's the truth.
I
Yep.
don't know. I don't know because when I take them to the mall,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, they're blonde haired and blue eyed. Okay. So when I take them to the mall and they say grandma, like I said, I can see the reaction from the white people, not the black people. I think that black people, we are so used to white people because back in slavery day, they was making babies with us back then. So the white people, the biracial people were more accepted with us because even though that white slave, he was a slave though, right? But he might have looked white, but you were still a slave. Okay. So you know what I mean? It's like, it's society. It's the way it is. So we've been more accepting of white people because it was shoved down our throats, shoved in us, than they have been of us.
The sideways glances generally come from the women. So now, in her situation, it would come from. She would be walking down the street with a white man. A black chick is more prone to be like, I know that's right, girl. High five, get that money. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Whereas with us, if we pull through the drive-through and there's a black chick at the window, you know what I'm saying? She gonna look and mean mug the white girl that's in the passenger seat. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're still one of our men type, that type of shit. So it normally comes from the females. It normally comes from the females. Oh, hold on one second. Caught up on these. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say just to kind of leave it alone. Okay. No, seriously. I'm gonna say this. I don't care who agrees with who. I'm just making general statements. I'm not here begging anybody to agree with me. You never have to agree with me. It is not going to affect the way I get up and conduct my day the next morning.
Okay. Right. Well, just like the banner says, this is a nation of all people on this podcast. So everybody understands that everybody has an opinion, and you can have your opinion, and everybody has to just agree to disagree or whatever. You know what I mean? That's the way I am.
That's it. So go ahead and go through your comments because
we up at 10 now.
I'm not gonna beat a dead horse,
So we at 10. Yeah. I just had an honest this is Diana. She said I just had an honest conversation with my 26-year-old daughter over the weekend. Where she was explaining that she was tired of walking into a room full of white people, excuse me, who look at her like she doesn't belong. That's not me or her going along with the society norms. That's her reality. She says she knows she does not get treated like she belongs with that type of crowd.
That's society.
Again, you're gonna catch it. Yeah, you're gonna catch it, especially when you I don't like the biracial term, but when you are biracial, because white America says you're not white, so we don't like you. We don't fully accept you. Black America says, okay, well, you're not one of ours entirely, but then statistics says that if you got whatever percentage of black blood in you, you're black. So there's a lot more black kids out here in this world now. You see what I'm saying? What is it?
4%. 4%. That's how they did it.
Right.
If you have 4%, that's why you had a lot of biracial people. I don't know what other word we're supposed to use at this point because black people, we have changed so many names.
We just call them black.
So I'm not sure, but yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. And I think that the gentleman, he's right also. Because everybody, like I said, everybody has their own opinion about it, but you're right. On that aspect.
And I mean, you know what? Hold on. In all honesty, who determined that 12% makes you black?
Shit.
No, it's 4%. It's actually 4%, and that was how they did slavery back in the day. That's how they did slavery.
And they still doing it that way. But here's the thing, right? Like here's the thing. pay attention. They play the fraction game when it's convenient for them. 4%, right? 4% of black blood in you makes you black, right? Well, damn it, how much percentage of Native American, which was actually blacks, how much of that has to be in you before you actually are black?
Consider, that's a good question, and I wanted to know also because if you do have that percentage, how many grants and stuff you can get if you got that Indian percentage in you. Yeah, you can really. If you have that Native American, so much. I think it's like 10 or something, and you will be considered, and you will get tax cuts and everything else. How do you like that?
100%.
But how do you go about proving that? That's the thing. It's like
you take a DNA test. It's called a 23andMe.
Even with the 4%, somebody just automatically came up with their percentage. Is what I'm asking.
100%. Somebody did come up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody just said, "Hey, 4% sounds about right." So that
it's 3%. Someone said 3% in the chat,
okay,
so you might be right.
Regardless, even if it's 3%, who determined that?
You know who determined it. Come on now, we know who determined it.
No, I'm asking it in a roundabout way, but
now you play
nobody had DNA testing out there. Who did DNA testing back then to determine this person is 3% black?
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
And wait a minute, here's the thing, right? 3%, 4%, 1%, hell. 1%, and they could be just as high yellow. Look, they could be just as white as the wall.
Right.
So I mean, again, that percentage shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But
it is.
They books. You know what I'm saying? It's in their history books.
It is, but see, that's what I love about your sign behind you. The nation of all people. We're people. It doesn't matter what our skin color is. It shouldn't. But it does. But it is a mindset that we have been constantly taught. Because, see, I was raised with all white people, okay?
Right.
And went to an all-white school. But out in the country in Ashtabula, Ohio, honey, back in the 60s and 70s, okay? So it was, and I saw it being taught. It was taught to them. It is honestly taught. I was fine. Kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, I became black. So it was taught to those children. They didn't see me as black, growing up. It was taught to them by their parents. So it's a mindset. It's ingrained in people, and that's what has to stop because it is a nation of all people.
And that is a potluck of people.
Right.
People, real quick, getting back to these comments. We up to 7. It says, it's teaching them to be prepared. That's why we are saying that they need to know the world will only be black. Okay. Chris Pierce says, we become products of our environment.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie says she agrees with recording. Chris Pierce says, I get it from all sides, being a white man raised in the hood. Huh. Okay. Diana says facts because she was the same way. Jamie says mostly. Chris again in turn says, I get those looks as well, being that I don't date white women. 3% is what Chris says. 23andMe or Ancestry.com. I ain't fuck with no Ancestry.com because I know what they do with this shit. Yeah, I know what they do with this shit. Beth says you have to also get recognition from the particular tribe of descendants.
Right. Yeah, you do.
3% for Native Americans. Beth again says in turn, there is a lot that goes into being able to get the Native American grants. Of course, they're gonna make sure that we don't get it. My kid's great grandmother was 100% Blackfoot, so I definitely looked into it. That's interesting because so is my grandmother, and I'm not sure what I mean your grandmother. That's kind of interesting because I have a picture of my grandmother down on my living room table, right? Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I know my grandmother looks like me. Okay. Beth says in turn that her great grandmother is 100% just like my grandmother. Same tribe, in fact, which is technically Cherokee. She's saying that is 100%. So I'm kind of curious, right? What does that woman look like? Because, and I'm not saying that Beth's great grandmother's not Cherokee or Blackfoot. What I'm saying is this is the perception that is given when they say, "Oh, well, Native American is not what it looks like." You get what I'm saying? It's not what they depict on TV. Chief Sitting Bull doesn't look like that. Coach Chief did not look like that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm kind of curious what she looks like. Not to say that they all look alike, but
have you?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Have you ever gotten on? Have you ever taken the test? The 23andMe or Ancestry.com?
Okay.
You might be able to find. Yeah, you might be able to find. Some other relatives that know more about it, that know more about this great grandmother or something. See, that's what is so kind of good about these DNA tests. You can find distant relatives that you never knew about. Right. And I know that for a fact. Right. So it might be something you want to do.
I looked into it. I found the location and as far as like the reservation and such, but like I've never gone up there. But like my aunts have, they're familiar. I'm kind of torn between the two because I've got the Native American or I don't like the Native American term, the indigenous. And I also have the African side. So I know exactly where I come from over there as well. That's probably leaning more towards. I'm kind of at 45. I'm kind of well over this American lie. They like to call it the American dream. But I'm kind of over this bullshit. I'm ready to go. So,
well, I did take a 23andMe.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's been very interesting. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because I've found 3 nieces and a great niece. To make a long story short, my sister had a child very young and he was put up for adoption. It was a closed adoption, but his daughter wanted to know where she came from. So she had done a 23andMe. I had done a 23andMe. Most of my brothers and sisters, we had started doing it just to see what our background, where we came from.
Right.
And this blondish brown young lady with blue eyes popped up as the highest DNA match. And we're like, who is she? But she's a great niece.
Okay.
And now I found 2 more nieces because, my brothers, they was brothers.
Right.
They were doing their thing back in the day.
Right. Right.
And they got some kids out there that I'm finding on 23andMe. But it tells you, it breaks down everything and it tells you what percentage you are. So if it's something that you really want to know and that you may be able to find, because even Ancestries, I'm on that also. And different people can add different things and they have census, those census bureaus. They used to do that way back. So you might be able to find her. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to actually find the record on the census because I found my mother, I found my grandmother, I found my great grandmother. And it tells you exactly where they lived, how old they were, who was in the household. It'll tell you all that, what nationality they are. Because they, just like, the Census Bureau goes around to our houses now, they were doing that back then too. So you might be able to find her. You may be able to even find a picture.
No, I have a picture. I have a picture. My thing is this: is I don't. Excuse me. I for one, I know beyond a shot. Well, I don't know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Let me take that back. There's not a doubt in my mind that they don't already know or have some kind of record of where each an individual person comes from. I think that's part of the reason why everything is shrouded the way it is because the fact of the matter is, a lot of us will find that a lot of us did not come from over there. A lot of us were already here. With that being said, 35 comments. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get to these comments here in a second. With that being said, right, the thing about it is you gotta figure like this, right? It's a lot. It's a long way to travel. In that time period, with the equipment that they had, not many of us made it over. Divide and conquer. Okay? So we get up. The majority of us were already here. We were voyagers. We're voyagers. Now, with that being said, right, if you find out that you were here and enslaved, or you find out that you were here and you were enslaved, and obviously they owe you something, correct? Now the gig is up that they done stole some shit. We already know that Christopher Columbus didn't discover anything, right? So it's a well-known fact. How you discover something and you got people standing here watching you get off the goddamn boat. But in his dialogue, he even said that, that the people were dark-skinned, this, that, and the third. Okay, now, if we're already here and you cause a division, just like they kept a log of the slaves and who was sold up the river, this, that, and the third, you don't think they did that they we stole this one off of this reservation, this area, because at the time there wasn't reservations, and at the time period they were only settling in on the 13 colonies. They hadn't migrated all the way across the west, right? So if you think about it, you get here off the boat, right, as a slave, whether you came from Honduras or wherever you came from, Africa, Barbados, wherever. I'm already here. I'm a free man, though, right? I look just like you. You're not allowed off the plantation. You're not allowed to read or write. You're not allowed to communicate. Every time, if the master come where you looking at the flow, you don't even look him in his face. They don't want you running around because you're gonna run into somebody that look just like you.
Right.
Hey man, you look like me. Now we may not be able to communicate entirely, but you're gonna figure out how to get the point across. Hey, I need help. Da, 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 da. Okay, well hold up. Let me go get some of the rest of the fellas. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
All that feather in the hat shit. I'm not really. I mean, not to say that they didn't do it, but Sitting Bull and Cochise didn't look the way they depicted on the TV screen. Remember that lonely that was crying a single tear? Yeah, that wasn't it. That wasn't it.
History, and the things that they have taught us have all been a lie.
100%.
And I know that from growing up. I know that from growing up out in Ashtabula. And my parents taught us at home. Okay, my mother was born in 1917 and my father was born in 1910. So I was being raised by older people, okay, and older grandmothers. You know, her grandmother was a slave, you know. So they taught us at home. That's what we're missing about all of everything. Exactly. And that's why I say there's so much outside influence these days, because I was taught at home. I was taught different things at home about Black people. You know what I'm saying? And so when we went to school out there and they told us in their book that Eli Whitney was a white man, We knew that was a lot.
Right.
We knew that was a lot from our parents who had already taught us about Eli Whitney.
Right.
He made the cotton gin.
Exactly. So now here's my question to you, right? If that being the case, you already acknowledged that a lot of history that's been told to us is a lie, right?
Facts.
So with that being said, you know that they lied to us since Heck was a pup. Why would you take now? Like for me, you asked me, have I ever done 23andMe or Ancestry.com, and I said no. Mine came from word of mouth from family members. You see what I'm saying? So
yes,
why would you
way to get it?
So why would you take the Ancestry or 23andMe, knowing that
because okay, well let me tell you this. The reason why is because of what is happening right now. I am finding family members.
Gotcha.
Okay. That I would not. They are finding their fathers. You know what? You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, my brother was a something out there. You know how you men are, okay? And he was all that. He was something. Yeah. And he was getting it in. And guess what? He made babies. And these young ladies want to know. So yes, we took a 23andMe, and that's how they found me. I wasn't looking for them. When I took the test, it was more of I took it with my brother.
Right.
Because I wanted to know whether we had the same father or not. Right. Because it was told in the family that we had the same father. And so I wanted to know. And so we both wanted to know. And that's how we found out. We don't have the same father. But in the meantime, what happens is on 23andMe, other people have taken it. And if you have a percentage of my DNA, it shows up. And that's what happened. And that's how I found these three other young ladies found me. And we know that, yes, they're my brother's children. And the oldest one is 44. Okay? So that's why you take it. That's why you take it. You understand what I'm saying? My brothers are older than me, and I
understand.
So,
I mean, the thing about it is, right? I like everybody's not as fortunate as myself to be able to have it come from the word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna skip down real quick to Diana's comment real quick, and then I'm gonna shoot back up. Because she says it right here. She says, "I swear, I wish some family would come find me on 23andMe. I think I would want at least as much as I think I want that as at least as much as wanting to find my lineage." Here it is. She is in her 40s, and she hasn't been able to find any of her family. You know what I'm saying?
Take 23andMe.
It's rough for her, you know what I'm saying? So like me personally, like I said, I'm different. My situation is different. I was fortunate to have aunts that remembered. Oh yeah, my mom. Da 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 da. Oh, my great grandma Gussie. Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And so okay, so family is just and the third. So like I was able to get the rundown and stuff. But
well, sincere, I was adopted. I was adopted. So my parents that I'm talking about that raised me were not my biological parents.
Right.
I did meet my biological mother when I became a teenager, and that's where we ended up. I stayed and had kids, and that's how I met you. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wanted to know. So I wanted to know. There were things I wanted to know. And so I took it. Me and my brother, we went ahead and took it. Another sister, we took it. And yes, we have found 3 nieces.
That's dope.
So and so some people don't have that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't have that. So taking the 23andMe I can't say it's a bad thing to do because it's working out for me. I mean, we're all going on vacation in a minute.
Right. That's what I say. Worst case scenario, you find something. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that Maury Povich show. You know what I'm saying? You are the father, or you're not the father. You know what I'm saying? You are related, you're not related. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's take another test. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel it though. 100%. Beth says, because I had asked the question. I had asked the question about what the grandmother looked like, and she said it's on their dad's side. My side is whiter than white. Chris say my grandma was 100% Cherokee, and she had jet black long hair, and was about the same complexion as you, Ken. And, well, so that's dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? So little. Let me just throw this out here real quick. Might be some relation, may not be. Who knows? Chris is best friends with my cousin Miranda, so when he gets to talking, I see how they kind of overlap anyway. 100%. Jamie says, right. Most came from the Americans, talking about the indigenous. 100%. Chris Pierce. Can't discover something that was already right. That part. Can't discover something that was already there. How can you find something that isn't lost? With people standing on the shores waiting on watching you ass get off the boat. Right, that part.
Yeah.
He say they changed it in school.
Yep.
He said they changed it in the school book. If you look up the same event and book from say 1950 to 1985, 2010, and now they will all have a different story. I don't doubt it.
True.
They're rewriting history as we speak. Hell, you see how the algorithm on Google and Siri steady changing this shit. You know, I said to myself, now on, I research something online, I'm screenshotting that shit because you're not about to have me looking crazy and shit. Diana says that's my issue. I don't have the family line to learn from word of mouth. Yeah, like I said, I understand. I am fortunate in that aspect. I'm trying to get my cousin to actually tap in. He's kind of busy with this military thing, but I'm trying to get my cousin to actually tap in. He's from Africa, okay, from Ghana, which is where my bloodline comes from over there. He's actually the king. His name is Itafe Kembe. Trying to get him to tap in and kind of give some insight and some knowledge about what life is like over there, customs. Because it's one thing to hear from me because I was born here, but then to hear it from him and the lies that have been told to us. I'm telling you, there's so many draws in here that will drop you like, you know. He's been very helpful and very insightful. As far as like my knowledge, learning different things about the culture and who we are as a people. 100%. Like I said, again, I'm just fortunate to have that type of connection.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jamie says, I don't know about my messed up family. I've seen enough. I don't care to know about. I mean, some people do care to know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like in my situation where the young ladies, you know, they wanted to know, and now they've gained a whole another, family. So for them, you know, they're excited. You know, they have aunts and new aunts and uncles, and you know, we're all getting together, and it's going to be a big family thing. So you just never kind of know. I got some messed up folks in my family. They just gonna stay where they at. I'm looking for some people in the family.
I got news for you. Listen, we all got messed up relatives. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the thing about this is you gotta live your life. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody in your family that is gonna love you for who you are. If it's a sister, a cousin, a brother, uncle, aunt, whatever have you. Oh my gosh! You know what? We heard stories about you. Get over here, give me a hug. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Life moves forward. You know what I'm saying? unfortunately, you do have some of those. What was that show with Jim Carrey? Unfortunate events. You know what I'm saying? You got that weird ass uncle who just want that fortune. Yeah, come on over here. Nah, get the fuck away from me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You gotta live and learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Diana says, I don't have many family stories. And at this point, I'm the older generation, and I can't pass that kind of history down to the younger generations. Example, I am also Native American, but have no idea what tribe, what percentage, etc.
23.
I would say there you go.
23. It will tell her, it does actually break it down and tell you your percent. It tells you exactly where you are from, you know, what your lineage is from. You know, I have quite a few. And it breaks it down. I am about 3% Native American, if that. Okay. I am Nigerian. And my grandfather on my father's side is Irish. And that was a story in the family that I didn't believe. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a dark skin.
Right.
Okay. So taking that 23andMe broke it down for me.
Right.
And it let me know. So taking a 23andMe, it will tell you, it will get you as close as it can to the tribe that you come from. Because it did that for me in Nigeria. Because I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian, and Sierra Leone. That's where I come from. Okay. And it gets you as close as it can to the tribe in Nigeria. And actually, at one time in my life, I knew someone who was from Ghana. And so when I found that out, I asked him, I said, you know, what if we come from the same tribe? He said we would have to kill a goat. But, you know.
Right. I know what he's talking about, too. Yeah, right.
No, we can't go from the same tribe.
Curry, here we go.
So, right.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's what we have to do, but we're not from the same tribe, you know, because he could actually even break it down for me even more when he looked at my 20. Mm-hmm.
Which means you cleared to jump the room.
Yeah, we were a couple years ago. Yeah, we were. It may be. You know, it may be. But yeah, it will. 23andMe will, you know, and I know I'm saying 23andMe, but it's I'm actually going through it right now. And so, yeah, you know, like I said, it was a nephew that I found, and his daughter did the 23andMe. And she said, you know, I'm looking for my father's biological mother and father. And I'm looking at this young lady, and her percent was so high, I had to start talking to her. And you can talk to people on there. You can talk to these distant relatives that they're telling you, and you can put 2 and 2 together. And so that's what we did. And I said, your father is my nephew. You know what I'm saying? And I told my sister, I said, I found your adopted son. And when they talked, oh my gosh, when they talked, but that would be a whole nother show. But 23andMe is, you can find out a lot.
That's what's up.
You know, you can really find out a lot. And like I said, I found 3 nieces in the last 3 years. You know? Yeah, so, and plus it let me know where I came from.
Right.
And you know what, Antoine, is that his name?
Yes.
Antoine. You're not adopted, are you?
I wish I was.
Actually, no, sincere for real though. Actually, I'm looking for a nephew named Antoine. His name was Antoine Gross. He was born in Youngstown, and he was put up for adoption. And he was born in 1963.
That wouldn't be me.
Nah.
I'm just trying.
That's fine. But hey, somebody can adopt me right now. That'd be right
there. Chris say, keep us divided so we fight each other. So that way we don't fight them. That's 100%.
Yeah, ain't it though?
Just because
Isn't
you
it?
have someone have some same blood, don't make it that real. It's just make it relative. Yeah, I feel you. I call fam not related. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, I do too. I agree with that too. Yeah, in some instances, you know.
Yeah. Diana says I have messed up relatives. I think everybody does. We all do. Says I would like to know where I come from. I'm German, Irish, and Native American. That's all I know. Well, Cordy pointed you in the direction. Go on and give it.
Well,
Roll the roulette
that's
wheel.
only because when I was told, you know, your grandfather's Irish, I was like, yeah, right. You know, I was like, yeah, right. It was something that was told in the family. But I was, yeah, right. Okay, whatever. He's not my father.
Right.
See, I didn't think my father was my father growing up. I was like, he's not my father.
Right.
But the Cordy, 23 and me, yes, he is.
Cordy, you got a question on the floor. Can you hear me?
All
right. Diana wants to know. She says, Cordy, do you think out of the two, 23andMe is the better option?
Well, you know I'm biased right now because it found my 3 nieces. Okay, so I'm kind of biased about 23andMe, and I would say that's where you could start because that's where I started. And then I went to Ancestry.com. And like I said, what Ancestry.com will do, you will actually see your ancestor's signature. I saw I'm named after my grandmother. Cordy is just not a name that my mother gave me. It was her mother's name. I actually saw her signature on the census thing. So that was exciting. And then I saw who her brothers are. You know, I'm related to the Wallaces in Youngstown. I didn't even know that. There is some kind of Wallace because my great grandfather passed away here and I had no idea. You know, so it's like you can find out. So both of them are actually good, but I started personally with 23andMe, and 23andMe is how I found my nieces.
Gotcha.
So I would say start with that.
Okay, Jamie confirms as well. She says 23andMe is better than the others. I don't know. I like I said, I've never dealt with either one of them. What's up, son? How you doing? Everybody's doing quite well. Just having an open discussion at this point. Kind of got off the topic. I'll get back to it here in a second. Jamie says, family for me is family for me is the one I'm creating. That's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. I mean, here's the thing, right? You're born and raised into a family. Okay? Born and raised into a family. Then, ladies, you get married, right? You have these kids. And some of y'all get married. But let's go off of tradition. So you get married, and you have these kids, you got this husband, and then they say, oh, well, the extended family, right? So essentially, like the point I'm making is the family after a certain point is what you're gonna create anyway. You see what I'm saying? So like, I don't know why people are so downtrodden. For a person that was born here that wasn't raised here, under normal circumstances, you will find that most people, when they hit a certain age, once they graduate from high school, go to college, whatever, get married, whatever, shoot out, they branch out. They don't stay right up under their family anyway. You see what I'm saying? They migrate out. Then they come back for holidays, or they come over there for holidays, and it's like, okay, cool, see you, love you, bye. So I don't understand where everybody's so, like, me personally, I don't understand where people be so, oh, I'm not close with this person, I'm not close with that person. It's because you're right on top of everybody. You know what I'm saying? You become too common. You get where I'm coming from? Like
I do. I do know where you're coming from, but because I'm older now,
Mm-hmm.
when all my sisters, you know, and I've had some sisters that have passed away,
Okay.
and my mother passed away, and Lord knows I miss all the confusion. Okay, just don't put it out there.
That's
I
normal.
miss, you know, I miss the dysfunction because they're gone. So appreciate even kind of the dysfunction while you have it, because there, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? It's like,
when it's gone, it's gone. And then
it's gone.
Saying, damn, I miss my mother cussing me out and yelling at me.
You know what I mean?
You know, now me personally, we didn't really have that type of relationship. We was two peas in a pod, you know what I'm saying? But like, I understand where, like, I see some of my peers, you know what I'm saying, growing up, they lost their mothers early, you know what I'm saying? They were raised by their grandmothers. And it was like, shit, man, I wish I had my mama. You need to appreciate what you got. And, man, I wish I could just one time, you know. So, like, I understand all that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you hard on your family, right? You hard on your family. A lot of that has to do with the fact that you too close. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is not close as far as family unit, but it's like that annoying ass in-law that pops up at your house and shit unexpected. Like, what the fuck is he doing here? You know what I'm saying? Too close. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why. And not to be funny, right? But a lot of these, like, it applies with baby mamas and baby fathers. Some of the baby mama drama and the baby father fathers that y'all have is because you're too close to each other. Anytime, if you got baby mama drama or baby father fathers, he can drive freely over to your house, pop it in. Probably too goddamn close to each other.
You know that's a whole nother show too. You need to write that down. I have an opinion on that too. You know I do.
You know how I get down, man.
Well, you know, we don't want to, like, curve over there, but
right.
You know, I have an opinion about that too, because it's all in the way you handle that. Okay,
right, 100%.
It's how you set the tone.
100%.
You know, the tone is set, especially when you have children. Tone is set off top. If people cannot be together, then there has to be a tone that is set between the two of you, where the children are going to come first, and any dysfunction is not going to be shown, around the children. And no popping up. Nobody's together, so nobody should be popping up. There should be that respect about giving.
You right, but you know how you right. Hey, look,
I said it on another show.
We're gonna talk about my little brother that was going on over there on the board.
Right. So So like I said, it's on another show.
Right. And speaking of which, man, how they doing?
They doing. You know, you're
some of this knowledge, man.
Yeah, but you know your brothers.
Yeah.
Got it. They'll be they doing them.
Yeah. I ain't mad.
They happy.
Look, I ain't mad. They grown. They figured out.
They will. Yeah, they will. Everybody will in time.
Chris say we all come from the same dirt, and we will return to the same dirt. I prefer Stardust, but yeah, I feel where you coming from. I feel where you coming from. Cordy, Diana says, thank you. So I really should look at doing both over time.
Just start with one. I just started with 23andMe, and then I didn't do ancestries until like 3 years later, because it's I connected with a lot of people, and actually was able to see a picture of my great grandmother and father. And that's because I came in contact with another side of the family that had all the pictures and all the, you know, and we had to say, but it was from 23andMe. So it was, yeah. So it's something, and it doesn't really, you can find them because I think 23andMe might have a thing going on for like $69.99. I mean, I paid $100.
Oh no!
Yeah, because I paid like $99 at the time, and this was like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. But now I think it might be like $69.99 or something. Because I know when I saw it, I was like, well, hell, I want my $40 back. You know,
shit, it works. Because here's my thing, right? Why you gonna charge me out the wazoo to find out who I am?
Well, that's because we don't. That's because we don't know.
Well, that's it. That don't,
the answer to that. People don't know. But some people don't know. Like me, I was adopted.
Agree.
Okay.
Agree.
I was adopted.
Don't wrong. Go ahead.
Some people don't know.
I mean, and I understand it. I understand it. Some things I understand. Anything worth knowing allegedly is worth purchasing, right? Yeah. Or so it said. But Cordy, you bumping your mic over there?
No.
I'm hearing a lot of. I got a lot of feedback over here. Okay. Nah, just curious. All right. So my bad. So they say anything that's worth having is worth purchasing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, a lot of bump over here. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Y'all good over there?
Yeah, you good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I don't know why I got like sound like somebody smacking microphone.
No, it wasn't my mic.
They say anything that's worth having is worth purchasing. Okay, as they say, what's it worth to you? Which is cool, but at some point,
there you go, that's better.
There you go. At some point, me personally, I'm tired of you motherfuckers making money off me and shit. Like, I need some kickback. As it is, I want some get back, but since I can't get no get back per se, I need some kickback. Quit sticking your hand in my goddamn pocket. We all plug in the two same energy source. All right, Chris, what energy sources? I'm curious. Let's see. Around Thanksgiving the 23rd and me. 23andMe. Okay. Yeah. So, real quick, man, I'm a boomerang back. I know we got our topic, but I'm a boomerang right back. I'm curious. I'd like to know. Tell me something good. I'd like to know. So if I can find a damn topic here.
Well, your topic was
capital punishment. Corporal and capital punishment versus corporal. Right. So basically, I want to know why are parents nowadays so afraid to basically parent the children.
That happened a while ago. That happened when me and your mom were raising you and my kids. That's when that started.
That started. Nah, that started after us. That started with the '80s babies. Nah, not the '80s and '90s babies.
When were you born? In the 80s?
I was born in the '70s.
Oh, okay. I thought you was an 80s baby.
No. That's remember when they came out with that hotline for the kids?
Mm-hmm.
That's when that bullshit started.
Exactly. It sure did. I told you that experience I had with that. With your sister.
Right? Hey, same situation. Yeah.
Yeah. She told me, they got a 1-800 number for this.
You better hurry up and call that motherfucker.
Now, let me pack your shit.
Yeah, that's it. Right. Hey, I don't know why, right? I don't know why, but because my other sister, Audrey, did the same shit, right? I don't know what it is. Females always want to try that shit. The sons, shit, we already know what time it is. Look, we just gonna go in the other room and do some mumbling. That type of shit. Girl, man, I don't know, man. Look, some crawled up there, man. Look, I ain't got to. Shit, Look, you dial that 1-800 number, and I'm gonna go in here and dial this 911, and then hopefully they get here at the same time. I'm about to fuck you up.
I'm gonna tell you, I know what I did. I went and got the phone because back then, them long phone cords we used to have. We had the house phones.
Yeah.
I nicely took that cord with that phone and knocked her upside the head again.
I know that's right.
And told her to call. Now call and tell me to come get you.
Hey, Cordy, you got a phone call. Ding, ding.
I'm joking. It was something like that. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It was pretty close. But you know what I'm saying? I was playing. I was like, oh, really? I'm serious. They gave kids an 800 number to call on your parents. So it was like parents became like hesitant to discipline our own children because they were telling us, you can't do that. You can't discipline your children. You have to talk to them. It was the talk to them movement back then.
Hey, look, fuck they movement. The thing about it is though, right? It's because all right, so the parents are scared. But the thing about it is it's because they don't know their laws and their rights. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I know, all right, so you got the right to bear arms. You got the right to carry your pistol, right?
Mm.
So who gonna come and tell you can't carry that motherfucker? Keith Sweat. That's the only person that's gonna tell you can't carry it. Nobody. Yeah, that part. Look, if you within your legal rights or your legal parameters, ain't nobody tell you shit.
Okay.
Kanye West can't tell me nothing.
Right. But when you're speaking about when they did this particular thing of giving kids the 1-800 number, they also changed the law.
Did they?
Okay. Yes, they did.
Okay.
Oh, yes, they did. Because I lived that with 4 sons and a daughter. That I know, if I think about it real hard right now, they still got some ass whoopings that I owe them that I couldn't get.
And look, and I plan on collecting shit.
And I couldn't give them because I didn't want to get a child abuse charge. They were going crazy with the child abuse charge back then. They really were.
Here's the thing, right? Now understand this, right? Did they change the law? Or did they implement a policy? Because there's a difference.
They may have done both. I'm sure you can look it up. They may have done both, but I do know it was a big thing. It was a big thing back then. They were charging parents. They were charging people in daycares with abuse and all kind of things. And yeah, and then that's when they had the abuse hotline for kids.
Yeah, shit.
And
Look,
they
that's all right.
and I'm not saying that all the kids that used it weren't being abused. But
Right.
I know when I was told by one of mine that she was gonna call it, and I knew I hadn't abused her, I was like, well, let me. No, it's like, I was,
Hey, ah,
you know.
and that's just it. Like, okay, so I just had what was the goddamn charges? I just had physical child abuse, physical child abuse charges that were pending on me, right? And she said, yeah, because
Yeah, I know because I told you.
no. My son got a bug up his ass and thought he was listening to his mama. Yeah, that
Yeah.
part. So I go down there.
And guess what? My daughter
I go
was
down there.
listening to that part.
Yeah, I go down there and the investigate. So I'm sitting down there in the investigation, and she asked me. She said, "Well, sir, here's the allegations." I said, "Okay." So she said, "Well, you want to read it to me?" I said, "No, you can read it to me though." So she read it to me. I said, "No, not that. Yeah, that." She said, "You getting with an open hand with an open hand?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "An open hand?" I said, "Well, the back of my hand, but yeah." "Oh, sir, you can't." I said, "Okay, so you show me what law, and then I'll show you what law, and then you tell me where we're gonna go from here." So she's sitting there. Well, hold on one second. I need to get this other officer in here. Okay, well, you go ahead and get the security. I'll go down. While you doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and open up my notes, slap that down there. So now they sitting there playing good cop, bad cop. I said, in the state of Ohio, corporal punishment is perfectly legal. Yes, sir, it is. Okay. And we talking about stages, right? Well, yeah, when they literally you pop the hand or you pop the pipe or whatever, that part right there. Well, yeah. But your son is 13, yeah. Oh, but sir, I said, okay. So then I pull out my little booklet. I slap that down. What is that? Box license. Oh, well, he didn't smoke any box. Yeah, I know that part. Yeah, I know. Oh well, sir, you're perfectly fine. Okay, all right, thank you. So they let me go. They threw the goddamn charges out. Moving forward, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna always try and intimidate. I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. And now keep in mind, now this is. I'm gonna do it in front of the camera so everybody can see it. Yeah, one of them. Yeah. They don't like when you know a little bit. They don't like when you know a little bit. Beth says, I gave my kid CSB's number as I was smacking him the other day. Damn right. Put upside his goddamn head. Take this. Call him in the morning.
I actually, and this is a true story, and me and your sister was talking about it the other day. I actually had Children's Service Board write my daughter a letter to let her know that she was a minor. And, she had a baby then, but she was a minor.
Right.
And had to remind her that you both are in my custody, because, like I said, she was still a minor.
Right.
And she knew, and, somebody gave her a 1-800 number. And she thought that she could do what she wanted to do because she had this 1-800 number. And I had to remind her, you can go on and go in the system if you want to, because it ain't pretty. Because I've been there. I've been there as a foster child. I know what it's like. If you want to go ahead, you go ahead.
See, it's crazy to me because see, like people live in fear of children's services, CSP, right? But it's because they don't know that children's services is not it's not a corporate agency. They have no authority whatsoever unless granted to them. They cannot come and take the children from you, this, that, and the third. They can go and file a motion, just like an attorney can. They can go and say, well, hey, look, we recommend blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it's at the discretion of the judge. If you've done nothing wrong, ain't nothing that they can do. Oh, well, children's services said they was going to come and take my kids. Okay. Did you give them to them? Because they're not taking nothing. I don't know. I don't understand it. When they come knock on your door and say, hey, well, we need to do a house check or a wellness check. It's just like the equivalent of an officer saying, oh, we want to search your car. You can say no.
No, right.
You don't have a warrant, you can't search shit. And
Yeah,
children's services, like, I'm sorry. What you say, Gordy?
No, I was saying that's true. You know, that's true. There is definitely nothing wrong with knowing your rights.
I recommend to anybody and everybody. Know your rights, because here's the thing, that's how they get the shit off, is when you don't know. You see what I'm saying? And being ignorant, man, is the downfall of all of us. That's where trickery and foolery only work when you don't know.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. So how did it end up? Did they just, leave it alone, or?
Well, what with my son?
Yeah.
They threw that shit out. They didn't have nothing to press, so they threw it out.
I don't. I think I don't understand why. Because it brings back memories for me with my sons. Why a mother would, if you're not with the father and the father is disciplining the son, I don't understand why a mother would see something wrong with that. However you wanted to discipline that son, because I have a scenario. Okay, you know my sons, me and their dad. We weren't together. My older sons, and their father disciplined one of them one day. Right. They ran to me. They wanted to run to me, and he did this and he did that. And he said I disrespected him, and I didn't. I said, well, you know what? I said he must have felt that you disrespected him. I stayed on the dad's side. I didn't call children's service board or whoever, or, no, because I knew that he loved my son just as much as I did. And if he felt he needed to discipline him about something, then that's what it was. And I didn't let my sons get away with telling me that, oh, well, my dad disciplined me. Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. So
you asked a question with that. Initially, you said, why do women do that?
Yeah, that's something, that's just me personally. With, like I said, my sons are grown now.
Right.
And what my experience was with not being with their father. Mm-hmm. And even though me and their father weren't on the greatest terms, when it came to that, it was like, okay, I wasn't there for one thing.
Right.
Okay. I wasn't there for one thing. And I know my son had a smart mouth. You know what I'm saying? So if your daddy thought he needed to, straighten you up, that's what he needed to do. There was no way that I was going to be like, he's wrong. I wasn't there for one thing.
Right. A lot of it has to do with three things. One, it's in a woman's nature to coddle. Two, if you look at today's society, they look at the children as possession, especially in mom states. They're given to the mothers, so therefore they feel like they have total control of everything because this is how it's told to them. It's not natural law. This is law of man. You see what I'm saying? So those are the two main factors. And then the third factor, in some cases, not all cases, but it's out of spite. I'm gonna weaponize this child and turn him against me. Make myself look good.
Like I said, I'm a mother who never did that.
Right.
And it was because, for one thing, I have 4 sons, and I'm probably going to get some flack for this, but I feel personally that there was no way that I could raise my sons to be a black man in this world, because I don't know what that's like.
You can't raise them to be any kind of man.
Right, because I'm not a man. So when it came to my daughter, I could get with her. You know what I'm saying? When it came to my sons, I felt that was father's job, whether we were together or not. Okay.
100%. But see,
because I did not teach them how to be a man. I'm not a man. I don't know what that feels like. Okay.
Right.
I don't. So
but
I knew that was something I could do.
Right. But see, here's the problem with today's society. The law says the child is the mother's, and the mother takes that and runs with it, and they raise them how they see fit. And then once the child becomes fucked up, or let me clean that up a little bit. Once the child becomes unruly, or they can't handle the monster that they created, it's I need help, or go over there with your dad. The moment that they can't handle the shit, if the dad is in the picture, if there's a dad in the picture, notice I said dad and not father. The moment that the moment that they can't handle the shit, or the shit gets rough, now all of a sudden they want to turn the dad, they want to villainize him and turn him into the boogeyman. You want me to call your dad? Do I gotta call your dad? You've been doing all this shit for how long? You've been screaming and hollering, hey, I want to see the kids, this, that, and the third. I don't get child support, not seeing the kid, or you ain't about to have my daughter, not my daughter. You ain't about to have the kids around some other chick, this, that, and the third. You know the games that motherfuckers play. So now all of a sudden shit get hit. Now it's I need help. But when he was trying to,
then it would, but I understand what you're saying, because I've seen it happen. I didn't do it, and I have to go back to the reason why I didn't do it, because I knew I could not. There was, yes, I can raise them to a certain point,
right?
And then young men need that guidance from their father to be a man. 100%. So when it became and he had girlfriends, guess what? I'm friends with some of them to this day. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
or at least respectful with them.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that, well, they can't go over, the house because of, I've seen that, and you don't even know the woman. You haven't taken time to know the woman, and you automatically have an attitude talking about, don't have my kids around another woman. Well,
okay, but hold on, Cordy. Let me stop you there. This goes both ways, fellas too. You know what I'm saying? Because men ain't exempt. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't want no other man around. Man, listen, check this out. I ain't got to know it. I just want to meet him that way we get an understanding, he and I, especially if this is somebody that y'all co-reside with. Other than that, I don't give a fuck what y'all doing. But my thing is, because it ain't none of my business. My business is the child. All right. But my thing is this, right? Ain't no need to know who they are. Well, I don't even have to like them. I don't need to know who they are, because here's the thing. For me to say that I need to know who they are, essentially, I'm saying that I don't trust their judgment as a parent. You see what I'm saying? My kids live with you.
Yeah. I think because I can only think of my experience, and it wasn't, I needed to meet them or be all up in their business. It was more that I met them and we were polite and and I knew that these women, maybe it was just different for me, because I knew that these women that were in their father's lives were, they were accepting my children to come to their home. So that was number one. That was like, okay, well, they're accepting that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna make anything, bad with the situation or aggravate the situation. For them to see their father. So for me to start and have an attitude with the woman just didn't make any sense to me. It didn't make any sense to tell their father, well, I don't want you taking them over this woman's house. That made no sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense, because okay, so what happens when the father moves on with his life, he gets remarried, or the mother gets remarried for that matter? You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden, okay, well, the kids can't come visit. Now he got to go to church go to church. Now he got to go to court and go get visitation. It's got to get all messy because I'm married now. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a control thing.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I think it's sad to me that you even have to go to court to get visitations. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that with my son's father, there was no way that I was going to stop. And he didn't pay child support. Let's just be real. I didn't get paid child support until half of them was almost grown.
Right.
And people should tell me that, because people would try to be in my ear, and they were like, he ain't paying child support, he wouldn't see the kids. And you know what I said? No, I'm not doing that, because they're not going to grow up and tell me. See, my sons can't tell me you stopped me from seeing my father. My sons can't tell me that. That can never come out of their mouth, that I ever tried to stop them from seeing their father, whether he paid child support or not. It didn't matter to me. But see, I was the type of woman, I'm going to take care of mine anyways.
Right, so, exactly. That's the whole thing.
What was more important to me, okay, as a mother of men, okay, of black men, what was more important to me was that they had that experience and they knew their father. It wasn't about no money. It was the time.
But see, here's the thing. Women now are so caught up on the money. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Realistically, and this is the thing, and this is case in point, right? A woman says, I'm having a hard time. Can you help me? Man responds and says, okay, give me the kid then. Now she's all pissed off. Now you can't get the kid. I'm just asking for help.
When you say get the kids, are you asking her for custody, or are you just asking?
Yeah, he's saying sign them over. The woman says no. That's how you know it's all about money. Because realistically, listen, I didn't did it for how long?
Okay, I don't understand. I'm kind of confused right there.
So a woman will say, hey, I need help. Or no, I need a woman will holler about child support, right?
Okay.
So, all right, in most cases, women holler about child support. Men generally don't. And normally because men don't have custody. Okay. So in a situation where a woman says, okay, well, hey, I need help, whatever the situation may be, man says, okay, well, sign him over and I'll just handle it, you know what I'm saying? He's not saying he wants child support, no shit like that. Woman says, no, I'm not signing over nothing. Well, if you can't handle it, why not give it to the father?
And do you want to know, as someone who went through that, I wish, and your dad had asked me, they were about 13. You know Mikey, my oldest son. Sincere, you know my kids.
Right.
He had asked me to take him when he was about 13.
Okay.
Me being a mother, I was like, oh my God, you know, I don't want nobody to take my child. I got to have my child. You know what I'm saying? I was foster child and I take my child. But looking back now, I wish I would have. I'm just being real with you.
And that's the thing. And I commend you for that, because most women can't keep it real in that aspect. I'm looking at the comment right now. Hold on, I'm going to address something real quick. All right?
Yeah.
So, Jamie says, we have an understanding that if either one of us doesn't want someone around the kids, we don't. I'm going to touch on that later. Let me fast forward right quick. In reference to what I was saying, as far as is you can't handle the situation right now, given to the father, right? Response to that was, that's such a messed up statement. That's not a messed up statement. That's as real as it gets. Why women think that's a messed up statement? First off, we gotta fucking fight and go petition for something that we contributed into to bringing into this world, right? Just to have rights, not visitation, but rights. And then after we get rights, then we got to go fucking petition again for visitation to see this child. And so, because you can't handle a situation, and the man says, "Okay, well, if you're going through some shit right now, just hand over the child." He ain't asked you for nothing. What is the, Cordy? I'm asking you because you're the oldest, right? You're older than most of us on it. So I'm gonna ask you this question, right? What is the job? What is the typical description or job of a man?
How can you ask me? You're asking me what the job of a man is? What is the typical thing? What is the typical description of a man? To be a provider.
A provider and a protector.
Family. To be the
provider and a protector, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if you're in a tight spot and you can't handle the situation, and we just said that in most cases when you ask anybody that what is a man, he's a provider and a protector. Well, if you can't handle it, and he's saying, okay, well, give me the child. Why do you feel like that's a bad thing? Why is that a fucked up statement? If that's his job to protect and provide. So please explain to me why, if you're struggling to do it.
I'm trying to tell you, it's the mother in us. It is. I told you I did it. Now I look back, and when my son was 13, and his dad said, "Let me take him," I wish I would have. But
exactly.
The mother in me, the not wanting to be
not the mother, the emotional side of you. Not the logic side, but the emotional side.
No, not the logic side. Not the logic.
Right.
If it would have been logical, I would be sitting here telling you that I felt like I made a mistake back then.
Exactly.
Okay. But my thing was also his father lived in another state.
Okay, that's cool.
So if he would have lived here, honey, please.
Okay, but wait a minute. That's your situation. What about the guys that do live here? See, the situation.
Did you hear what I just said? I just said if he lived here,
again, this is a general statement.
I would have shipped him off that day.
Okay, you're speaking from your perspective. I'm saying in a general statement, most women are not trying to relinquish that because they feel like they've lost control or something's been taken from them, like they can't retain it or get it back. That's the only reason why. Oh no, you're not taking my baby from me. The fuck?
Okay, right. So it's a different, but see, I'm trying to explain to you the feelings of a mother. Okay, that's
Okay,
what I'm
but
trying
here's
to
the
explain.
thing. I understand. Listen, I understand the feelings of a mother. Those are the emotions of a woman. I get it. But the problem is everybody wants us to understand the emotions or the feelings of a woman, but nobody gives a fuck about the dads. You got to realize there's 51 states, depends on who you ask. Puerto Rico. There's no such thing as a dad state, only mom states and regular states. You get what I'm saying? So nobody gives two shits about the dads. So then when we get emotional and get to wanting to wreck shit and tearing up shit because you didn't took our sons away from us, you didn't took our daughters away from us. If you're thirsty,
I do understand, but you have the right to fight, because I do know a young man. Well, he's not young anymore. He had all 4 of his sons.
Why do I have to fight you? Here's the thing. No. Exactly. Why am I having to fight somebody? Okay. That's just it. They pitting us against each other, and the mothers don't see it.
Right, but it should be an understanding where, like in my situation, personally in my situation, when I said no, he didn't try to fight me. We had an understanding where, okay, well, he's going to come every summer, every holiday. You're going to, but like I said, it was a different situation because he was out of town. Okay? Mm-hmm. He was out of town. If he would have been in town, I'd let him go stay with him. I'm not even going to lie. But I feel that personally, even though it was out of state, I should have let him go. I'm honestly, because I did not know how to teach him to be a black man.
I understand all that. I mean, we're talking about it on a general level. Because you got to understand something. This is bigger than just you. This is everywhere. You see what I'm saying? There's so many men out here right now. So many dads out here right now that understand and feel the same way that I do. Across the globe. I mean, well, not even gonna say across the globe. Across the country. There's no reason why I should have to fight for something that is equally mine.
Okay, I understand. Exactly, but okay. And I don't mean to say but I'm just saying because the mother, and you cannot come to a common ground. If you feel that your child would be better off with you because of certain circumstances that are going on with the mother, then I feel that the father has every right to have the child or fight for the child. Sometimes you have to do that. If you feel strongly about you need to fight for your child, and men have the right, and men do win custody of the children.
Let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something.
And I understand that you say, why should I fight?
No.
I understand why you say, why should I fight? But
we shouldn't have to fight.
Then what?
We shouldn't have to fight.
No, you shouldn't have to.
So
that's not the one.
Let me explain something. Let me say it this way, right? This is what you're saying. Let me explain. A lot of women have this question, right? I don't understand why the men just walk away. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Because of shit like that. Rather than, because here's the thing, you have all the say so, all the rights, right? Then when shit get tight, after everything, after you done fuck this child up and all this type of shit, doing shit your way instead of trying to be a team player and all this type of shit, Oh, you can't see the shit because you mess with this shit and all this type of stupid ass shit. When the child come up fucked up, and now you trying to pass him off, and he say, I don't want to be bothered with this shit, or he half-ass do anything, that's because you did this shit. You did the shit your way. Now all of a sudden, shit ain't panning out the way you thought it was. Now all of a sudden, hey, well, I need help, man. Fuck all that. We're not doing that.
Okay, well, are you paying child support?
Is child support actually financial? I mean, is child support actually financial?
I'm just asking, because if you're paying child support, then you have the right to ask for your child to the court.
Here's again, paying child support right now. Here's again, child support. Let's first off, let me go this further, right? To answer your question, do I pay child support? No, I don't. I'm in the life of all of my children. I don't. Child support is not about money. So if it's about money for you, then that right there tells me why you want to keep it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing, because here's the thing.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that child support. I'm not saying that are you paying child support because then it would give you the right. What I'm saying is that actually, if you're paying child support, it gives you more of a right to actually take your child.
You know what it does. You know what it does? It says that it's basically child support in that aspect. When you say it that way, it says, okay, well, you can pay to be in your kids. Like, man, fuck that, keep that money.
No, you don't get it. But that's why you're asking the wrong woman right now. Because, like I said, personally, I didn't get paid child support, but it
exactly. So with that being said, right?
I still had their father in their life. It didn't matter.
That.
He might have been going through a hard time at the time. He might have been, in between jobs. Actually, I never put him on child support. When the computers came up for like 10 years, that's why he ended up paying me child support later on when they were kind of grown, was because I never went after him for child support. It was more of, I want you to be in their lives. So, me, personally, I didn't do that. Child support wasn't a big thing to me. I'm just saying, but he had a right, whether he paid child support or not. He could have asked me for him, you know what I'm saying, and he did. But then when I said, you got to come to, everybody got to kind of get their emotions, just like a comment that was said, has to get their emotions out of it and make it about the child, because that's what I did.
I agree with you 100%. But see, here's the thing: you can't get out of your emotions when a woman is an emotional child, an emotional being, and she acts on her emotions. Men don't. When a man acts on his emotions, it gets destroyed. Man ends up in jail.
That's true.
That's very true. It's anytime a man acts on his emotions, he's either going to destroy something or he's going to end up in jail. Yes, it's not natural for a man to act on his emotions. Women are the emotional ones, not men.
I don't always agree with that, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say. I think that everybody is an emotional being. I think that men have just been taught not to be.
No, it's not to say it's not. No,
and been programmed not to be, and that it's not a good thing to be.
Listen, if we acted on our emotions, nothing would get done.
Okay, well, how can you say that? Because you're saying that women are emotional. We get a lot of things done all the time, emotional, but we get a lot of stuff done. When a woman is emotional, say that women are more emotional because men are too.
Listen to what I said. When a man acts on his emotions, it's not an issue of Jamie, you already know what I'm talking about. Everyone has emotions, 100%, but they do. So the thing about it is this: when a man acts like it, think about it. Anytime a man that you've known got emotional. What was the outcome?
It depends on what you got emotional about.
Yeah, well, think of any situation that you
I can't
right off
say
the top of your head.
that. I can't say that. But I can't say, honestly, I can't say that, and because I know men who have gotten emotional, but they still, you know, they were men, so they still took care of their business.
We do not
The same
operate.
way
We do
women
not
do.
operate
We
properly
become
up under emotion.
emotional. Wait a minute, we become emotional, but we still take care of our business. So we don't become so emotional that we don't take care of our
It's
business.
in a woman's nature to do that. You guys are emotional. We are not. We don't operate correctly under our emotions.
I would hope a man got some kind of emotion.
Wait, say that again.
If you tell me that men have no emotions whatsoever, you ain't got no business making no
That's
baby.
not what that's not what I said. I said men do not operate properly under their emotions. I didn't say men don't have emotions. That's like saying men don't have tear ducts. That's not true.
Like I said, I'm not a man.
Exactly. When a man gets emotional,
I don't claim to know how a man thinks. You know, that's the kind of woman you're talking to right now. I don't claim that. You know,
when a man gets emotional, one of two things is gonna happen. He gonna destroy something, or he gonna end up in jail. Because here's the thing, right? When we get emotional, we don't have rational thoughts. Women operate off of emotions. So you guys handle emotions a lot better than we do.
I would just say that because we don't operate off of emotion. I think
very much so you do.
I think logic is an emotion also. You know, love is an emotion. You know,
I'm sorry?
So yeah, I think women, I don't know. Are you saying, and I'm gonna ask you this, are you saying that women, we feel more than men? So y'all just don't feel? I don't believe it.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
You know.
I mean, you guys tend to feel that you guys do tend to feel more than we do, though. 100%.
Yeah, I think society has told us that. Yeah.
No, it's a fact that you guys feel. It's a fact that women feel more than we do. Case in point, right? Case in point. Women have this thing. It's a sensory. It's something that you feel that men don't have. It's called intuition. So yeah, you guys feel more than we do.
So men don't have intuition? I didn't know that.
No, we don't.
See, like I said, I'm not a man, so I didn't know that men don't have.
No, we have no intuition whatsoever. Whatsoever. We got common sense. We got logic, and some of us is dumb as a box of rocks. But no, we don't have intuition. No, that we don't. So I tell you what, if we did have intuition, it would. Some of us would be a hell of a lot better off. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. I listen.
I don't know. I do feel that men have intuition and they have feeling. Y'all just have been taught not to express it or show it.
I mean, as far as we're not saying that we don't have emotions. We're not saying that we don't have. Men cry, we laugh, we love, we hate, all the above. You know what I'm saying? We have all that. The thing about it is we're not spurred by our. Why did you do that? I felt like it was a good idea. No. Why'd you do that? I thought that I was going blah 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 blah. Up here, not here.
Yeah, I think somebody just said it's hard to hear me. I think it's because I'm not in my mic. Can you hear me better now?
No, you're. That's why I said it sounds like you're bumping your mic. You got a fan going on in the room or something? air conditioner?
No, I'm not doing that.
Yours is what? Yours, it sound like it literally sound like somebody over there smacking the mic around.
Well, let me see. Let me see this, but this is in the other room. What about now?
It's still doing the same thing.
I don't know what that is because there's nothing on in my house. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know I wasn't speaking right into the mic. That might be it.
So remember how we were saying how females are emotional?
Yes.
Best response, I feel, which is something that you do off of emotion. I feel that men are taught not to have emotions, therefore explode when you can't hide it anymore. No, that's not true. Men are supposed to be logical, but sometimes it's not logical. Men are logical in most cases. It may not make sense to a woman because we don't think alike. But then in the same aspect, that's why you don't have two heads on shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real. According to the good book, right? For those who are Christian, it says that the man is the head of the household. So why is it that women say trying to run shit? You can't. If you had a dog, right, and it had two heads, that motherfucker would be at odds. It wouldn't get nothing done. It's gonna sit there and fight with itself.
Now we know the answer to that.
Hey man, look. I'm just saying.
We know the answer to what broke up the black family. We already know.
Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling it like it is. I mean, shoot. It's crazy because here's the thing, right? It don't hold no weight coming from me because I'm for the most part I'm very common with everybody in here, right? So don't take my word for it. Go look it up for yourself. Go ask some therapists or go ask some counselors and see what they tell you. I'm only reiterating what they study too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's the part that tickles me. You know what I'm saying? So hey man, you know, hey man, not bad at all.
Like I said, I don't know how to be a man.
Say that again. I can't. It's trailing off.
I think I'm talking too low in the mic, but can you hear me better now?
Slightly. Go ahead.
Well, I just think that because I can't tell you I know how you feel.
Right.
You tell me how emotional women are, but I don't feel that I can do that. I'm the kind of woman I don't feel I can do that because I really think it's because I have 4 sons and they're black men.
You had exceptions to every rule and abnormalities in every situation, but in most cases, women are going to be more emotional than logical.
I always thought that women would be more logical.
That's the myth.
Men would be more emotional because when something happens, men, like you say, they'll go off. They'll go, yeah. Where women might think about it for a minute and think about the outcome before they do something.
Now, a woman is more prone to explode. A man has already thought it out.
Like I said, I can't tell you how a man feels or thinks because I'm not a man.
Right. See, so here's why it appears that men explode. Men have already given the warning. Men have already processed it.
Right. You already right. So
this is why we get premeditated. A woman gets a crime of passion. That's an emotional thing. Men don't get crime of passion.
They have. I mean, it depends on the circumstances, I suppose. But I always feel that, like you said, there is definitely a difference between men and women.
100%. We don't think alike. We don't think alike for the most part. You know what I'm saying? We can agree on some things, but in most cases, and the reason why it wasn't as apparent back in the past is because women were more docile. Women not walkovers, but women just, you see what I'm saying? They discuss things amongst each other. But now, I'm sorry.
We were taught to be that way.
I don't know if it came from the husbands. I don't know if it came from the fathers. I don't know if it came from the slave masters. But women were.
It came from society. It came from society. It came from society. Society said that a woman is supposed to dress like this. She's supposed to be like this. And I'm talking back in the 1800s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Women, your schooling, some women's schooling was domestic. It wasn't educational. Only men went to.
Not boarding schools. I know what you're talking about. Where they would have etiquette schools and shit. They have them sitting up with that. Yeah, that shit. Yeah.
That's all they could go. That's all they could do was to be taught. We weren't permitted to go to college and and work. You have to understand. I might get in trouble for this too. And this is like going off the subject too, but Black men have had more opportunities than Black women. And when I say this, it's because it is still a man's world.
I was say that's exactly the response. That's the exact reason. That's the only reason.
It is still a man's world.
A man is gonna have. It doesn't matter if it don't matter if an alien come down from Pluto. If it's deemed that he's a male, he's gonna have more opportunity than any female on the planet. Yeah, just being completely honest. I mean, I didn't write the script on it, but I mean, the reality is, yeah, you're right.
I remember a conversation with your brother Elijah. Okay, and it was the Democratic convention, and it was Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Right.
He sat there right before he passed away. You know that. You know what year it was. He said he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna win over that white woman. I looked at him. I said, yes, he is. He was like, no, he ain't. She white. I said, but she a woman. I said, they'll let a Black man in before they let a white woman be president. And we sat there and watched that man win that Democratic convention. Looked at my son. I said, I told you, it's a man's world. It's still a man's world. 100%. And guess who at the bottom of the totem pole? A Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Black woman.
Exactly.
Black woman. Yes, unfortunately, that's where we are.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, I didn't write it, but you know how that goes. Hold on 1 second. you what, man, they steady. My bad. I got distracted with something. I was over here. I was over here looking at this because I was gonna make a statement, and then I went to look it up, and they didn't change the whole narrative on the shit. So it kind of has no relevance anymore. But I was looking up the Black president on the back of a $2 bill, and now they're saying that it was Thomas Jefferson, and that it was a typo, like a problem with the ink. That's crazy.
But yeah, when you get back to disciplining a child, I'm glad I'm over that. I'm glad my kids are grown. I know what I went through. I'm glad my kids are grown.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your mic, but that mug is going crazy.
You know what? I have to go to work in the morning, so I am going to vamoose. And I'm going to say good night. It's been real.
It's been a pleasure. Make sure you tune in to the next show.
It's definitely been real. I've enjoyed the conversation. Antoine was a little quiet, but
he does that.
He does that. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all right now. But it's been I enjoyed myself.
All right. Well, like I said, I hope to see you on the next one, Cordy.
Yeah. Good night, y'all. Thank you. Right. Good night.
Thank you. All right. So we're looking at 2 hours and 52 minutes. I'm not gonna be able to edit this All right, there we go. We're looking at 2 hours and 53 minutes. I'm not gonna be able to edit this one because all that background. But when I was able to hear, she had some valid input. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. It was good to actually hear from a female's perspective, from a female's voice too. That was definitely needed. I liked the fact that she had the courage to actually come in here and do her thing or whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to having her come back on a different topic. Like I said, we are at 2 hours and 53 minutes. I got to get my eyes closed. I got some issues I got to deal with around here and in the morning. So with that being said, it's been a pleasure. Hope to see y'all at the next one. I'm signing off. Got anything?
No, I'm good. I'm glad she called in, and I just sat back and listened.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely good. It was insightful. Yeah, it was kind of difficult to hear at times, but like
yeah, because that background was killing me. Whatever.
Yeah, it was rough, but hopefully she'll work that out for the next show, future shows, or whatever have you. Yeah, I like I said, me personally, I feel like people need to do better with some of the things that's going on and gaining a better understanding of things, because it's definitely a lot of bullshit out there. You know what I'm saying? going on. Government using the females and females going along with it. And I think I saw a comment somewhere that said something about blaming baby mamas or whatever have you. Again, when you have custody of the kids, granted not by nature, but because of the law catering to you, then shit, yeah, I guess you would be at fault or to blame for that shit. Yeah, 100%. And I'm standing on that. At the end of the day, like I said, y'all raise the children, and then when it's convenient for you guys to say, okay, well, I want help. Yeah, like I said, that's bullshit. So, but on another note, because I'm not even gonna get back into that.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Right. It's not
let me
Go
say
ahead.
this right quick.
Go ahead.
You can have your final thoughts. Let me state this clearly to everybody that's still listening. When I speak, my intent is not to attack anybody. Okay, so please do yourself a favor and not take anything I say personally. It's just an outright general statement. That's it. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'll catch up with y'all later on.
Shit. I'm gonna close with this one. I mean, I see the comment. I guess men do no wrong. Shit, yeah, we do 100 things, and we do a lot of things wrong. But like I said, when it's put in your lap, when the control is put in your hands, and then the shit go left, well, damn it, shit. I heard you say earlier in the conversation, accountability, but shit, take accountability. You know what I'm saying? Just that simple. There is no way in hell that a motherfucker goddamn that contribute to some shit. See, you can feel a certain kind of way, and you can feel a certain kind of way because you feel like I'm talking directly to you. But okay, well, if the shoe fits, wear it. But you gonna feel a certain kind of way because see, here's the thing. You don't have a motherfucker sticking their hand in your pocket. You don't have a motherfucker telling you that you can't see your kids or trying to weaponize your goddamn kids. You see what I'm saying? So from the time that you spit the little jokers out, you've had them. You ain't never had nobody say, "Oh, okay, well, you can have some rights to your kids if you pay this money." You ain't never had a motherfucker tell you, "Oh, okay, well, you can't see your kids until you come to court and we grant you permission." You see what I'm saying? So no, I'm not gonna candy coat a motherfucking thing. If it's given to you and it's your responsibility through law, when the shit go left, don't look at the man. It's not his fault. He don't want to be a part of the shit because when he first started trying to reaching out, you can't do this, you can't do this. I got the, the fucking games that's being played. Don't sit here and play like, oh, all that victim shit, that shit don't fly with me, straight up. And that's for any female. I don't give a fuck nothing about it. You see what I'm saying? It's never stopped any. Listen.
Man, come on.
Nah, because
no, come on.
No. Listen. Because here's the thing. It's been a long time coming.
I get that.
You want to play games on you want to play games on here like I won't speak my mind. I'm gonna tell you straight up.
No, you have every right to. But remember what I was telling you about making things personal.
Yeah, and I know what she's trying to do. So she want to make it personal. I'm gonna give it to her. I'm gonna give it to her.
No, just let it go. Good night to everybody. I'm out.
Now you save people.
I'm out. Believe me, I'm out.
Oh shit! All right, man, we're gonna shut it down, then.